Welcome to Fight Club 24/7. My name's Johnny Rashman. Right, let's get straight into it. Daniel Dubois is the new WBA regular heavyweight champion after absolutely smashing Trevor Bryan last night in Miami. Well, where do I start? I mean, the venue, it was the worst promoted heavyweight title fight or any championship fight I've ever seen in my life. It was a shambles. It looked like Phil Mitchell's old snooker room in 1999 in EastEnders. That's what it looked like. It was abysmal. Just look at the pictures. It was a grotty old room, hardly anyone there. Just bizarre antics when the fighters were in the ring. I've never seen so many people piled in. Right, it looked like the fucking Royal Rumble. It was unbelievable. The ring was tiny. You had the national anthems. There was fucking a full orchestra. Right, it was just absolutely embarrassing. Right, embarrassing. I mean, you'd be embarrassed, wouldn't you? I'm not joking. Right, the small hall shows put on in Manchester, right, who don't have a fraction of the budget that Don King had for that promotion, who put on higher quality events with better production, better atmosphere, more people there. It was embarrassing. It was absolutely embarrassing. I don't care if he's 91, 21 or 201. What is wrong with you? Like, do you have no shame? Like, do you not look at that and think, fucking hell, that's embarrassing. I can't be putting that out on TV. This is a version for the heavyweight title. It's not for the McDonald's belt. What are you doing? Unbelievable, right? Going on to the fight. Now, to be honest with you, I got my prediction completely wrong. The only thing I got right was that Bryan had a decent jab, which he did when he bothered to fucking throw it. But I said in my pre-fight prediction that an American champion isn't just going to give you his belt. It's no walkover. But that's exactly what he did. I knew within the first 10 seconds this is a complete mismatch. He came in fat as a slob, Bryan, right? Looked like an elephant in cement. Couldn't move his feet. I've never known a boxer just not to be able to move his feet. Never threw a right hand, just threw the occasional jab, right? And to be fair, when he did throw the jab, he had a bit of success. It was never a question of if, it was a question of when. And Dubois, he looked patient, good performance. This is no slight on Daniel Dubois. He did what he had to do. Who's not going to go and fight that for £1 million, I believe he got? Right? I mean, you've got to realise Don King won a purse bid. Right? So he's backing his man. I mean, where the fuck did that money come from? Because they wouldn't have made a fucking penny from that. And clearly King spent nothing on the fucking production. Absolutely nothing. But there was no fans there. He's paid big money for it. Where's the money coming from? That's just a complete loss. He might as well have thrown the money down the toilet. Down the toilet. Embarrassing. Dubois just systematically just beat him down, really. It was just it was like a sparring session. Dubois would have had these harder sparring sessions in the lead up to that fight. That's what it's like. The only thing I'll say is that sometimes when you're fighting a fighter who's just that poor and who's that unfit, that sometimes you've got to be careful because they can come up with a lucky punch. But Dubois just fucking took him out of there. Good performance. A lot of people are criticising Dubois, but you can't. Look, he's won a version of the heavyweight title. Now, look, it's not a proper heavyweight championship, is it? But on paper, it is. Right? It's a version of the heavyweight championship. And what it does now is put Dubois in a tremendous position because now he's mandatory to USAC, right? And you've got to realise he's 24. He's a baby, right? He's good. He's got plenty of time to mature and grow as a fighter. A lot of people are giving him stick. He's 24, right? What's he going to be like when he's 34? He's got a lot of time to grow. He's a handful for anyone. He does look like a fighter that's always going to struggle with a jab. He does, because even Bryan was having success with that. In the second round, for about a minute, you thought, okay, maybe Bryan's up in the ante here. He was throwing a couple of jabs and there was having success. It was keeping him at bay, but that just faded off, didn't it? So he is going to always struggle with the likes of Joe Joyce, Tyson Fury, Usyk. People with really good jabs are going to trouble him. But I like what Shane McGuigan's doing. You can see now he's not just going in to bomb you out. Right? If that was 2 years ago, Dubois would have tried to swarm him all over him and maybe would have made a mistake. He was patient. He got behind the jab. He was very effective with the jab, right? And that's Shane McGuigan, that drumming it into him. He's a fantastic trainer, as I said in my pre-fight video. Great trainer. So you could see that Shane McGuigan implementing a certain style, and his punch power is a problem for any fucking person. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're AJ, Usyk, Wilder, Tyson Fury. If he fucking hits you on the chin, he'll put you to fucking kip. Make no mistake about that. So it was a very good win from Daniel Dubois, right? It puts him in a good position now. As for Trevor Bryan, I never want to see him again. Get off my fucking screen, mate. It's Charles Martin's standage. I don't know who's fucking worse. Because at least Charles Martin's promoter didn't win a fucking purse bid. If your promoter wins a purse bid, it means he's backing you. He's putting everything into you. And you come in as fat as a slob. Look like he didn't train a day in his life. Oh, it's embarrassing. It was a shambles, a farce. Honestly, Don King, you should be ashamed of yourself, mate. Oh, my God. How can you sit there and put that on? You'd be embarrassed, wouldn't you? Just horrific. Absolute shambles. Very interested to see what happens with Dubois now. Doesn't need to be thrown into the deep end. He's good. But what's interesting now is, look at Joe Joyce. I mentioned this on my pre-fight video. Look at where the careers have gone. Right? If I would have said to you, at the end of Joyce and Dubois, when Dubois went down and the fight was over, that in 2 years' time, Dubois would have a version of the heavyweight championship and Joe Joyce would have fought once against Carlos Takam, you wouldn't have believed me. I mean, it's unbelievable what's happened. His career's gone there. Dubois' gone there. I can't understand how that's been allowed to happen. I mean, look at all this with Joe Parker. What a farce that was. What a load of nonsense, having a face-off with telling us they're going to fight. Then Joe Parker signs with Boxer. Fucking embarrassing. I mean, I don't know what Joe Joyce is going to do. I mean, he's just been forgotten man. I mean, all right, is he mandatory to Usyk? How long's he? I mean, is he just going to sit on that for the rest of his life? Those belts ain't coming free anytime soon. Got to fight. If I was Joyce, I'd be campaigning to fucking fight Dubois again. I know he won that fight, but I think it's a bigger fight now in front of a crowd. Remember, there was no crowd next time. But mental how the careers of one's gone there and one's gone there. Right, let me know what you think of the show. Was it the worst show you've ever seen in boxing? Where do you think Daniel Dubois goes now? Like, comment, subscribe, let me know.